Today I'm just going to cover that how you can provide the access. Okay, so how to create the user role. Okay, so if you will go into system tab, so here under this security you will be able to see the user and user roles. Okay, so let's create the user first. How we are just going to create the user. Okay, so before create the user, let's understand the concept. What exactly the concept to create the user? So when you create the user, then it means it contains two things: the username, then password, and it will give you the roles, whatever the roles you want to assign to any user. Okay, and in user roles we can select the roles, or we can also customize the roles, okay, according to our requirement. So for example, if suppose if the company will hire you for the RPA developer, okay. So for the RPA developer, this studio tab is a main tab, okay. So let's see, I'm just going to create a user for which I'm just going to assign the RPA developer role only. So let's see how we are going to create this one. So here, now here you can see, if you will do the right click on this users, so you can see the create user. So once you click on create user, so now it is asking the enter a name, okay, whatever the name you want to keep the user. So suppose I say I just want to keep as a RPA dev. Okay, now it is asking the password. Suppose I have just given the password. Okay. Now click on next. Now it is asking current user expiry date, current password expiry date. So if you want to keep any expiry date of your username and a password, so you can just keep it. Okay, on the from the calendar you can select it, or password duration, if you just want to go into the terms of weeks, so you can select the weeks from this drop down also, that after 1 week or after 2 weeks, so till 10 weeks they have given the functionality over here. Now click on next. Now here you can see the roles and the permissions you can see. So for example, if I just want to assign the developer roles, so now you can see when I have selected the roles of a developer, so now you can see only object and process studio gets highlighted. Now you can see, okay. For example, if I'm just going for a tester, so now you can see the control room, object studio, process studio, and resources. Okay, so here you can see, if you are selecting the release manager, so now you can see the release manager and skills permissions you will have. Okay, so for example, if I have selected these developers, now click on finish. So now you can see the user has been created successfully. So now you can see RPDev has been created. Okay, and here you can see when you will select this one, so here you will get the all the details: the user valid from which date, the user valid to this date, and the password expiration date. Okay, so now if I just click on sign out, and now if I just log in through that RPA dev and the password which I have given, now you can see. Okay, now you can see I have logged in through the RPA tab. You can see on the bottom the user is RPA tab. So now here you can see I have the access of this studio tab only, right? I don't have the access of this control, analytics, release, and system. I cannot access this one. Okay, so I cannot access this one. I can access only the home tab and the studio tab. Now, for example, if you just want to change any role to that assigned user, so you can also do that. Let's see. Here, if you will select the user, so now you can see RPA developer, okay, and it will show you the last signed in also, right? As I did sign in just now. So here, if you'll do the right click, and here you can just go for the create user again, or if you just want to delete this user, so you can go for, right? Okay, so this is basically the concept behind it. Now if you double click on this user which you have created, so if you just want to change the password or the name which you have created, so you can just change it from here also. and expiration date you can change it. And if you want to change the role, for example, I also want to go for the roles. For example, I just want to go for this control room. Okay, so control room. So now here you can see in permission you can't check, right? Look, I'm just clicking on this permission, but I cannot check these boxes. Okay, so you have to select from the roles. So if I select the release manager, no, tester. Okay, so now under tester you can see the control room. Now if I click on OK, and now if I sign out, and now if I log in through the RPA dev, so now you can see you have the control room access also. Okay, so this is a concept how you can assign the role to a particular user. Okay, now let's see how we can customize our roles. Okay, so let's see the user. Okay. Suppose I'm just deleting all these roles, okay, and I just click on OK. Now here if you go into user roles, so here you can see the roles and you can see the permissions. So here you can see one button that is nothing but a create. If I just click on create, so now you can see the new role one is assigned. So I'm just going to give the suppose the name, whatever the name you want to give, just click on create. And suppose I'm just giving the name as my role. Okay, now under this my role, what are the permissions you want to assign? Suppose I want to assign the control room, I want to assign the object studio, then process studio. Okay, so these I just want to assign, and suppose the this release also. Okay, so I can just go for this release manager. Now here you can see on the bottom this apply button. So just click on apply. Now the role has been created. Now here just go into user, then RPA tag. Now role and permissions, and here you can see the my role. If I just click on my role, so now you can see all those permissions are get selected automatically, which I have assigned against this role. Now click on OK. That's created. Now sign out. Now log in through that RPA dev. Now here you can see you have a studio tab, you have control tab. Now you can see, and you have release manager. Okay, now you can see, but you cannot go for this analytics and system because I have not given you the access for this one. Okay, now suppose if you just want to delete that user which you have created. Okay, so let's see if I just want to delete this RPA tab, so right click, click on delete user. So once I will click on this delete, so now here you can see that is deleted successfully. Okay, now you can see, so simply you have to do the right click and just delete on that. And in user roles if you want to delete, so just select your user role and you can click on delete also. Okay, so now if I select it and I just click on delete, so it will ask you for the confirmation. This role is not currently assigned to any active user. But just remember, for example, before deleting the user, if I'll just delete this role, so you will not be able to delete that. Okay, because that is already assigned to a particular user. So you have to delete the user first. Then after you can just go for. Okay, so this is basically the concept that how we can just create the user. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, now, now here, let's understand the concept that how we are just going to create any object and how we can use that object into our process studio. Okay, so let's see. So here suppose if I have taken a variable over here. Okay, let's see now, but that variables I am just going to create through this start and end button. Okay, and stage. Let's see. So if you click on start, so here now you can see you can just click on add. So this is the input parameter. Just remember, whatever you are passing in a start, so that is your input parameter, and whatever you will create into the end stage, that will be your output parameter. Okay. For example, if any business object you have used as of now, so now you can see MS Excel VBO, so you can see the input and you can see the output, right? So you have two things, input parameter and output parameter. So input parameter is passed through the start stage and output parameter is passed through the end stage only. So let's see how we are just going to create our own VBO. Okay, let's see how we are just going to create our own VBO. So here I am just going to create for suppose aggregate functions. Okay. So let's see how. Okay. Or if you want to create a different pages, so you can create the different pages also. Okay. For example, I am just going to create for the sum. So let's see what I will do is in a start. Here I'm just going to create a parameter. Suppose I say you have to pass the val1. The data type will be your number. Okay, this is val1. And in any description you want to pass, so you can pass it. Okay. Suppose the second one I have taken the val2. This is also the number. Okay, I have just created that. Okay. This is my input parameter. Okay. Now here, I'm just going to create an output parameter also. Okay. So let's see how we will create it. So just drag this calculation stage. I say this is sum and I just want to make the sum of val1 and val2 and I just want to store into the sum result. Okay. Now here go into end stage for the output parameter. So whatever the name you want to assign, suppose I say the final result. Now here you can see the data type is number. Now it is asking get the value from, okay, from where you want to get the value and pass into this data item. So I just want to get the value from some result. Now click on OK. Now let's connect these stages. So now you can see there is no error. Okay, perfect. So we have created this one. Now just replicate of this one. So creating a duplicate copy. This is for multiply. Okay. So what we have to do? We have to go with this multiply sign. Multiply. Okay. And same here you have to pass the multiply only. Okay. So for the rest to aggregate functions, you have to create. Okay. So now what we have to do is we will not be able to see or use these two action pages into the process studio until you will publish this one. So you have to publish this one, then only you will be able to use into your process studio. So how we are going to publish this one? So we can just do the right click on this page and here you can see this publish. So once you will click on publish, so you can see this icon. So this icon is related with the publish. Okay. Or if you will do the right click on this information stage and if you go into the properties, so here you can see publish this page and as an action. Okay, so just select this page as an action and click OK. So now you can see you can also publish it from here. So just save it. I did suppose save or whatever the name I say published. Now click on save changes. Now just close this page. Now here I'm just going to create a group, say okay. Now under this I'm just going to create a process, say day 11, Ravindra. Already created with this name, so I'm just giving the name. Okay. Now go here. Now always remember, as I have told you, that if you want to use any action or any VBO, then what you have to do, you have to just go with your action stage. So here you can see action stage, right? Just drag this action stage, double click on this, and here in business object, if you'll go, so let's select your object which you have published. So here the USA online. Okay, now you can see day 11 Ravinder. Okay, so under this now you can see both two pages, sum and multiply. Right, so you can just see the sum and multiply over here. Okay, so now you can see if I just select this sum, then output I can see the final result also, and in multiply now you can see. Okay, so let's see, I'm just going to create this one. Okay, so I say this is for the sum, so let me create this sum. So suppose I'm just passing any values, 90 plus 100, and I just want to store suppose in sum. Okay, this one. Same here, I'm just going to use the another action stage. This is for multiply. Just go with this one. This is your multiply. Okay, suppose I have passed suppose 25, and I have just passed suppose 10, and this is suppose multiply. Okay, now let's connect and see your result is getting populated. Just connect these stages and reset. There is no error. Let's execute. Now you can see your sum is 190. Okay, this 100 plus 90, and the multiply of 25 and 10. Now you can see that is 250. So what you have done, you have just created your own business object through the object studio, and then you have published that one, and that page you have called into your process studio. So let me save this one. So now let's see how we are just going to perform into the real scenario cases as well. So let's go with this page, that login activity. I'm just going to tell you. So let me open that page. Okay, application modeler. This is web HRM. That is Internet Explorer. Launch from exe file. URL. Okay, perfect. Now just launch this one. Okay. Now I'm just going with this login name box. Okay. Just check this one. Okay, it's working. Now go with this next element, password. Okay, now capturing the login button. Okay, that is getting highlighted. Okay, now then I just want to go for that logout button. Okay, so this logout button I'm just going to call. So create one more element. This is logout. So just capture that button. Okay, captured successfully. Fine. Apply. Okay. Now let's see how we are just going to perform this one. Okay. So I'm just going to create a new page. I say this is for login. Okay. So let's see here what we have to do. We have to go for the username and password, right? So let's see how we will just pass through this one. So first of all, we have to launch our application. Launch application. Then we have to wait for some time. So I have used this wait stage. I'm going to make this dynamic. Okay. Now I have to enter the username password. So let's see how. So going to start. I'm just passing the username, which is your text. So where you want to store, I say I want to store in username. Then I need the password that is PW. Okay, this one, username and password. So I say UN and PW. So this login name, I just want to pass this UN. Then in PW, I just want to pass this password. Now, after that, I need to click on login button. Click login. So here you can see the login button. So you have to go for the global mouse click center. Now let's connect all these stages. This one. So you have created your login button, login page. Okay. So I'm just going to create one more page. I say this is for logout. Then logout, what you have to do. Okay. So simply you just need to wait for some time, and after that you have to click, right? So let's see. I say just check whether this logout exists or not. If that exists, then you have to click on this logout. That's it. Okay, and just simply connect these stages. Okay, now you can see this is created successfully. Now publish both the pages. I say this is login. I'm going to rename as login HRM. This is logout HRM. Okay. So this is the concept. Now publish this one. Okay. Done. Now published. Now just close this page. Now here. Now suppose after this I just want to call. So let's see how. So I'm just going to drag this action, double click. So now here you can see login, logout, multiply and sum. Okay, all the pages which you have published. So now go into login HRM. So now you can see it is asking username, password. When you go into logout HRM, so now you can see it is asking nothing, right? Because we have not given into anything. So login. So the username, this is the username, and the password. I'm just giving the password here. Okay, it is password. Okay, should represent in dot. Okay, because we have to call. Okay, fine. Okay, so now here you can see when I have just selected that object which I had just created. Okay, so now here you can see the login and logout. So I have just select this login. Okay, so I have just passed the username and the password over here. Now this one, and after that I just want to go for the log. Just drag this one. Let's say this log out. So just select this one. Now, if you go here, so you can see the logout. Just simply select and click OK. Now let's connect all these stages. Now you can see. Okay. Just execute this one. So now you can see it will do the sum, then multiply, then it will log in into your web HRM page. You can see, and after that it will go for the logout. Okay. Now you can see. Okay, so if you also want to terminate the page, or if you just want to close the browser, so you can just give that option over there also. Okay, if you just want to terminate the browser, so you can either create a separate for this activity, or you can just give into your logout also. Okay, so that will be closed automatically. So you can do that, right, Ravinder? Or you want me to make go for it?
The terminate.
Yeah, you can use it, right?
Yes, can.
Okay. Okay. So just try till here what we have seen today, that how we are just going to create the input and output parameters, and how to create an object and call into the process studio, and how we are just going to create the user and user roles also. Okay, so
Okay.
what you have to do, the assignments which I have given you earlier, which was related with some login activities or something. So now you have to use the environment variables, and you also have to use that. You have to create an object, then you publish it and use into your process studio. So you have to just go for all the combination.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Just remind
So
him
this
yesterday and
file,
today's.
which one?
Just remind Ajay yesterday videos and today's videos to send.
So he has not sent.
Yeah, not yet, not yet.
Okay, okay, no worries. So Ajay,
Okay.
if you are on the line, so please share the recording sessions with him, and the files which I have shared yesterday, and the files which I am about to share in short period of time. Okay, so no worries, Ravinder. He will share with you. So okay,
Okay.
I
Okay.
will
Thanks.
also. No worries. Okay, Ravinder. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.